Have Jackson guitars lost their mojo? With Jackson being arguably one of the world's greatest metal guitar brands, I found some things in the 2022 line that made me kind of turn my head and raise an eyebrow in terms of price. In this video, I pull up a few examples of some guitars that show that you probably are paying too much for what you get for some Jackson models. So let's dive into this and make sure you stick around to the end so I can show you some cheaper alternatives to these shred machines. All right, let's go. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. If you're new, my name's Nick. I'm a guitarist here on YouTube. Jackson guitars. Personally, I'm a big fan. Don't get me wrong, this video is not about bashing Jackson guitars as a whole. I personally own a Jackson guitar. I have an old Randy Rhoads model and I've had it for about 10 years. But something we all know is that guitars are getting a little bit more expensive in 2022. So I was looking into Jackson and I just saw a bunch of inconsistencies, and I'm gonna pull up these guitars and show you what you're not getting and what you could get. So we're gonna take a look at the X series from Jackson, and that's above the JS series, which is their kind of cheaper production line. The X series is tailored to, someone that has a little bit more in their budget and wants to get, a little bit more guitar for their money. So we'll look at this. We're scrolling down. Let's take a look at this blue crackle right here, this Soloist. So this is indeed a Soloist, so you're gonna get a neck through design. That's great. The crackle finish looks pretty good. And I mean, this has like a dime feel to it, right? It's got those kind of hot rail neck and middle position pickups, which is pretty cool. So then this is where I start to see some inconsistencies, right? So you're paying close to $1,000 for this guitar, $899. With shipping, probably be around, $950 or something like that. So I'm looking, I like the hardware, I like the colors, but then I start to go down to the actual specs, right? I'll go down to this features right here. Everything looks good, but you're looking at around $1,000 guitar, right? So I'm looking at the trim, all right? You go to the trim, Floyd Rose Special. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, we all know that Floyd Rose Specials are, what's the best word to say it? Soft, right? They're made of zinc alloy. You use them too long, you're gonna get grooves in the trim blocks. So the Floyd Rose Special is not made in Germany, it's made elsewhere, and it's typically pretty cheap. And I wouldn't expect that on a guitar that's above $800, because you can find so many other options that'll have at least a Floyd Rose 1000 on it. So back to the Soloist, scrolling around, go to this headstock here, it says that it's crafted in China. And what do we know about where a guitar is crafted? So generally there's steps, and these don't apply to every guitar, but they're kind of just common knowledge. So a guitar made in China probably goes through some of the worst QC processes of most guitars. So you start to get up in quality when it's made in Indonesia. Even Mexico can be a little bit better. And then America is usually like the gold standard, right? So this Soloist is made in China. $899, that's a little much for something that gets QC'd in China. So I think you're not really gonna get the bang for your buck on this guitar. But what I can do is offer an alternative, and hear me out on this one, all right? So we're gonna go over to check out this Harley Benton Fusion. Now, a lot of people have done videos on a Harley Benton. They've done videos on the Fusions, on why they're so cheap, and they just can't wrap their heads around it, because you're getting a pretty well-made guitar with awesome features that rival some of these brands like Ibanez and Jackson. So, let's look at this Fusion right here. It's an HH Fusion with a double locking Floyd Rose. The finish is probably not your bag, but that's fine. But let's scroll and check out these features, okay? So, double locking 24 fret Fusion, roasted maple neck. So you're getting a roasted maple neck, which is a good option. Now let's scroll down here. Floyd Rose 1000 Tremolo. And this guitar is $422. So you're getting not only the step up in the Floyd Rose quality from that Jackson, you're getting the step up, and the guitar as a whole is significantly cheaper. Another thing you're getting with these guitars is stainless steel frets, right? You're getting stainless steel frets, and you're also getting tuners that are a little bit better. On the Jackson, those are Jackson branded tuners. Not that they're bad, but you're not getting, say, like a Goto tuner that you could get on an Ibanez, or some of these Grover GH305 6L machine heads, which are a step above those Jacksons. So on this Harley Benton, compared to that Jackson Soloist, you're getting not only a better bridge, you're getting better stainless steel frets, you're getting Grover tuners, which are a lot better. The only thing you might have to do in this Harley Benton is maybe change out the pickups. The pickups are Roswell, Alnico pickups, and I have a Harley Benton with Roswell pickups. They're not horrible. I wouldn't say that they're the highest output, so it might be something that you change down the line. But realistically, that's going to be like a $150 to $200 change. And that still keeps this guitar cheaper than the Soloist, because the Soloist is coming with Jackson brand pickups. Those rails aren't like a Duncan design or anything like that. That's a Jackson brand pickup. All right, so come with me for one more Jackson guitar. We're gonna take this from the X series to the Pro series. We're gonna elevate it just a little bit. So here we are on the Jackson page. This is the Pro series. Let's pick a guitar that's kind of middle of the line for price in terms of this range. You got some that are $1,500, some that are $900. Maybe we'll go with this, let's see. Let's go with this Dinky. That's about $1,200, okay? Sandblasted finish, looks awesome. That's really cool. With the Dinky, you're getting a bolt-on neck as opposed to the Soloist, which is a neck-through design. And they are the same size in terms of body. Don't let anybody tell you any different. And let's see. Let's check out the specs. Okay. So this has upped it to the Floyd Rose 1000 series, right? So you're getting that bridge that's a little bit better quality, way better than the Special. The Special won't last you, especially if you play hard. Okay, and this guitar also comes with Seymour Duncan pickups. It comes with the JB4 humbucking and the Seymour Duncan 59, which is, these are great pickups. These are good. These are the pickups that a lot of people end up going to because they're just great all-around pickups for metal and for a lot of other things. But what we're looking at here is, now we're looking at a guitar that's around $1,300 for these increased specs, right? For a bridge that's good quality and pickups. Yeah, I don't think that's horrible. I don't think you're paying $2,000 for this guitar. But one last thing is that this Dinky is actually made in Indonesia. The QC process is probably better than China, but still not up to that like Japan or US level. But let's compare this to something that I think is better value, and I think you're still paying too much money for this Dinky. So we'll go over to Sweetwater. So this is the Ibanez Genesis RG550. It's basically a reissue of the original 550 back in like '87. So right off the bat with this Ibanez, what you're looking at is you're getting one of the best bridges ever made in metal history, right? You're getting the Ibanez Edge bridge. This Edge trim rivals some of the best Floyd Roses out there. I'd still argue that a Floyd Rose original or even a Schaller Lockmeister is probably a little bit better, but the Edge is phenomenal. There's a reason why like players like Steve Vai still play the Ibanez Edge. Like it is a great tremolo. I would argue that it's better than the Floyd Rose 1000, but that's just me. Another thing about this guitar is that it is actually made in Japan. This is made in Japan and QC'd in Japan. And this is all under $1,000. With a coupon code, you get this for $800. Now this, in my opinion, has a lot more value and bang for your buck than those Jacksons that we just looked at. And in a time where guitars are getting ridiculously expensive, this is something that you need to consider. Now again, I'm not trying to bash Jackson, I'm just trying to help you guys find cheaper alternatives to the really expensive guitars that are coming out in 2022. You don't necessarily have to pay for these brand names that are giving you sometimes bad accessories, bad components, or at least things that just aren't up to snuff. If you do a little research and comparing the brands and what they actually have, or looking into budget brands like Harley Benton or even AIO, you can find guitars that have kind of better specs that won't break your bank. All right guys, that does it for this video. I hope it helped. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe below. That would help me out a lot, and I will catch you next time.